You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's 7 on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at some Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Koshiro's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm saying you were up, and let's go! Alright. Just what do you think there is to gain by killing his guardian and putting the boy in danger?
It seems there are many things that even you do not see. What we aim for is peace, an end to Gaius' life and this war.
Do you truly believe in this plan of yours, or should I say, plan you were informed of? The elder's silence rose a strange bit of suspicious murmurs among the wolves around you. I do not think you were foolish enough to fall for such a trap as this. It appears that age doesn't only just grant wisdom, but also takes it away.
Given what we know of the approaching army and Gaius' movements, we don't have much of a choice.
So you decided upon drastic measures, knowing full well there are always consequences.
We must strike now, swift and surely. It is how we have always acted.
Acting without thought would leave us as nothing more than the beasts that prowl the night outside these walls. Seshiro, I have had another vision. The masked one. It is not his time to see the gods. For if he should die today, the end of our village will be guaranteed. Do you not believe me?
Koshiro has already been tried and branded as a traitor. As village elder, I must complete his duty, regardless of your vision.
So duty, even if it forsakes all else? The masked one still has a purpose on this earth, to be guardian to the king. I cannot force you to do anything, but know that my warnings have never been wrong. Have you already forgotten my vision that I gave to you years ago, of what he is meant to be? The elder stared at Koshiro, his arm only slightly slumping, as though he had already given up the fight. Finally, he put away his blades and looked over at the priestess, who merely nodded her head slowly. So it seems you are not just a rash fool after all. It is not yet time to commit bloodshed among ourselves. There'll be plenty of blood spilt in the near future. The shaman looked at you closely and a shiver ran down your back. The vision that you had. She said that it was confirmed to happen no matter what you did. This village would burn in flames. Yet there was nothing that you could do to stop it.
Regardless of this matter, Koshiro still betrayed the village, and he must still be punished.
The elder looked at both Koshiro and the shaman, expecting them to say something in defense, but he huffed.
Koshiro, you have been branded as a traitor to our village. Regardless of your intentions, you still disobeyed us, disobeyed a direct order from me. And for that, from this day forward, you will never be allowed to step foot in this village again.
Once again, a wave of barely audible chattering came from the crowd. He felt slightly relieved. Koshiro, they were letting him go. The shaman had come at the right time, it seemed.
And King Catan.
But the gleeful grin across your face quickly faded as you felt another shiver run up your spine. Take it down. Seshiro had a sorrowful and serious face that reminded you far too much of your father.
Despite everything that has taken place, know that I still haven't forgotten what you have done here this night. I understand that my methods were perhaps too rash. The fact of the matter is that you still set fire to my home. Not only that, but you have disrupted a sacred ritual that our village has done since long before your kingdom was ever built.
You wanted to open your mouth to speak in defense, but it felt it best to let the elder finish what he wanted to say.
But I am willing to overlook all this, though. From the moment you were born into this world, I have known that your very existence would be one of misfortune. Perhaps not all to the fault of your own, but you have been dragged through mess after mess, like a runaway carriage. Despite Koshiro being banned from our village and what you have also done here, I am still permitting you to stay. You are far more safe here than anywhere else in the world. It is still my duty, the village's duty, to keep you safe. The plan that we had in place for you, you are right in that you should have been informed. For it is truly in my belief that we would have Gaius' head should we succeed. This is your choice alone, though. Will you stay here in the very village that protected your family from the numerous threats for generations? Or will you venture out with your Kingsguard into the unknown?
Well, that's a fucking obvious-ass choice. Leave with Koshiro. You turned to look at Koshiro. To think that despite everything that had happened to you, he stuck by your side and protected you. Without him, you would never have made it out of Havana alive. To abandon him now would be a slap to his face. The whole reason you burned down a house with you in it, threatened to kill yourself, screamed your heart out for Koshiro. It was all so you could save him. And now he was your Kingsguard. There was no way the two of you could part. You stared back up with renewed confidence and caught a slight smile upon the shaman's face.
So you have made your decision, it seems. Even I can tell what that is without needing you to speak. It saddens me to say this, but if that is truly your choice, then as Elder, I declare an end to our centuries-long pact with your kingdom over today.
What? But why?
Catan, we have spilled much blood for your kingdom, from under rulers both proud and strong, and others meek yet wise. Yet with you, I'm sorry to say that I do not see promise. Perhaps it is because you are still young, but so far you have shown yourself to be a careless and selfish ruler. The way you act could very well lead to the end of your family's dynasty, and I will not let our village fall to ruin with you. We shall do what we can to stop this madman, but after that is over, you will no longer have our village for support. We are no longer allies, but nor will we be enemies. I do hope that you think long and hard about your actions this night. Second, water time.
Alrighty, y'all, and we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back into it. Okay. The Elder turned his back and was ready to walk off. Seshiro! Thank you for everything your village has done for me and our people, but I will not let my nation fall, not after the legacy my father built to raise it up to what it is today. I hope that in the future we may be able to mend our relationship with one another. I'm a much more competent and wise ruler.
If that day ever comes, then perhaps we may talk it over with a cup of tea. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will need to inspect my home to see if anything is salvageable.
Your face turned a beet red and you bashfully looked away. Seshiro, before you go, there is another reason why I had to leave my temple to talk with you in person. It is about...
I already know of this reason. You wish to talk of the growing unrest within our village, but very well may lead to this dream of our end.
So your perception hasn't aged with the years, then?
Even if you are different, you of all people should know that not everyone becomes senile with age. To be honest, I was hoping to kill two birds with one stone should the king have decided to stay with us. But perhaps now may be the best opportunity to pluck this weed out. After all, with all these disturbances you've been causing of late, I'm sure you have had quite the free rein in your movements.
You thought that Seshiro was speaking to the shaman, but for some reason you felt that it was directed towards someone else. You? Koshiro? The Elder turned and looked in the direction of a group of his men. They all had masks on, looked nearly identical except for the shades of their fur, but one of them seemed to stir just slightly. His hands seemed to tremble, knuckles curling around a dagger in his paws.
Did you really think I didn't notice? My white fur is not a sign of my age.
Seshiro's eyes narrowed even further, and then you saw the beastman's feet twist in the dirt. His eyes locked onto yours, and pupils went wide. Before Seshiro could utter another word, the man was gone, weaving through the village center, coming right for you. Ha! Yeah, Koshiro fucking killed him. You expected to feel a cold, sharp steel wedged into your heart, gut, or throat. The feeling of warm blood leaving your body as you convulsed in pain. A scream of agony escaping your lips as the shock of what was happening wore off. Yet, when you opened your eyes, there was Koshiro, his arms wrapped nearly around you to protect you from an attack. He didn't say a word, but you could see the fear in his eyes over the possibility that he might lose you. Your own heart stopped and nearly dropped to your knees in relief. Koshiro had protected you once again, but not all was right. Oh shit, the shaman got hurt? God! Everyone turned up to look at the shaman, and many gasped in horror. The shaman was lurching, held up only by the arms of a masked beastman standing right beside her. Oh shit, he stabbed her. A long, thin sword skewed right through her stomach and stuck out by nearly a foot at her back. The crimson-painted blade was the only thing stopping a river of blood from watering the ground. Jesus! Gah! The assassin pulled out his blade diabolically, taking his time with sadistic glee as the shaman gasped in pain. It felt like an eternity as everyone was forced to watch the shaman being treated like so, yet no one stepped forth. Before the blade was finally pulled, though, the shaman mustered up all her strength and gripped down hard, preventing the beastman from continuing. What? Even with two hands, the assassin couldn't wrench the blade free. You will never win. For I I have seen your end. Pitiful creature. Abandoned by the very, very treacherous man you betrayed us for. Slain and forgotten.
Wench!
Gah!
The beastman struggled even harder, yet it was almost as though the blade was cemented within her body. Despite the amount of blood loss, though, the pain she was in, she still had more than enough will and strength to hold tight and speak.
This path you take will not lead you to happiness.
Witch, let go!
The man wrestled with the blade, hoping that the priestess would let go, yet still it would not budge. A great wind blew in from outside the area, whipping up a storm of leaves and dust that carried over and circled around the priestess and assassin. You felt slightly sick to your stomach, the same feeling that you felt when you attempted to enter the temple for the second time. A powerful aura was filling the circle, emitting outwards from the shaman. It was similar to what you experienced back home and in the temple, yet this was something far more spiritual in nature than infernal. With renewed strength, the shaman stepped forward, standing up proper against her attacker, and the aura around her burst like a bomb.
You will never be elder!
Gah! The assassin kicked right as the shaman swiped at his face, her claws managing to slice through the beastman's mask. The beastman howled in pain, dropping his sword, the hand raising up to cover his face. The shaman fell backward, her mask cracking upon impact and revealing her face before the stunned townsfolk. If you hadn't have seen her face just hours earlier, you too might have been caught off guard, but the unveiling of the priest before the village carried a far heavier significance. These people turned away from the shaman, even behind the facade of the mask, likely since the day they were born. And now they were staring at the face of the woman who spoke to their gods and offered them prophecies. You couldn't even imagine what kind of effect that would have on them. Her eyes slowly turned to you, a hand reaching out and words just barely audible slipping out of her dying breath.
Catan, you have many more trials ahead. Be strong. Stay by the forbid by Koshiro's trust in his.
No one seemed to know what to do. All eyes were gravitating on the shaman, her face not one frozen in agony, but of peace. You half expected her to rise back up due to some supernatural power by the gods, and you wagered many others likely were waiting for such an event. But as the seconds ticked by, the realization that she was no longer going to move dawned on each of you. Another breeze blew through the circle, this time soft and gentle. The shaman's hair was pushed over, covering her face from all. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. But anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!